Hey everybody, this is 365 Days of Movies. This is where I rate my top 365 movies. One movie a day for a year. So, with that, let's get into this movie. Number 262, Once Upon a Time in America. Rating 7.39, released in 1984, directed by Sergio Leone, starring Robert De Niro, James Wood, Elizabeth McGovern, Joe Pesci, Burt Young, Tuesday Weld, and Treat Williams. In 1968, the elderly David Noodles Aaronson returns to New York, where he had a career in the criminal underground in the 20s and 30s. Most of his old friends, like longtime partner Max, are long gone, yet he feels his past is unresolved. Told in flashbacks, the film follows Noodles from a tough kid in a Jewish slum in New York's Lower East Side through his rise to bootlegger and then Mafia boss, a journey marked by violence, betrayal, and remorse. This movie I've recently watched. I may have vaguely been aware of it. I'm not sure. The Once Upon a Time title. I'm always intrigued by movies that start with Once Upon a Time, especially when they're juxtaposed with the idea of Once Upon a Time in America or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because, you know, the Once Upon a Time is more connected to, fairy tales, whereas the idea of America or Hollywood or Mexico, these things are connected to real life and modernity. And I like the juxtaposition of modernity and fairy tale. And so this movie certainly is that fairy tale of mobsters in America in the 20s and 30s, and it's a period piece. Technically a double period piece, because it takes place both in 1968 and the 1920s and 30s. It was made in 1984. So it's depicting three different decades, and it does it really well. And I was getting into the movie, and near the end of the movie is one terrible scene, and it's very jarring and frightening, and it makes Noodles just a terrible person. And I know that is the point of the scene, and it just threw me out of the movie. It just made me so angry. And really, I have myself to blame, because I was starting to get to like Noodles. You're not supposed to like someone like Noodles. Noodles is a terrible person. This mafia boss, this selfishness, the way he looks at the world and the way he takes what he wants. Of course, he was going to enter this terrible scene, and I'm dancing around what the terrible scene is, but I'm telling you, it's just very jarring, and it's going, it could, change, people, the way that they view the movie instantly, in the way that it did me. Looking back on it, and then of course, I looked up a lot of information on the movie after watching it, just to understand the point of this scene. And of course, fans of the movie on Reddit and other places talked about the point of this scene. And of course, it is supposed to jar you and make you understand you're not supposed to like the protagonist, that they've done terrible things, and you're overlooking that throughout the entire movie, because we're used to seeing these criminals and selfish people and dangerous people as heroes or anti-heroes or whatever, and we start to connect with them, and you're not supposed to, because they're terrible. And this scene helps you realize you're wrong for connecting with Noodles. So Sergio Leone, I guess, is a master. And in fact, Elizabeth McGovern talks about this scene And she talks about it was actually the easiest scene to film because she knew exactly what she had to do in this scene. That there's no ambiguity, whereas in other scenes it required more range and more thought, whereas this is going to be this way and it's going to be terrible and that's what it's supposed to be. And so she has no real regrets about this scene, which is pretty amazing. It's just a terrible, terrible scene. And once you get to it, if you don't know about it already, you're going to hate Sergio Leone and Robert De Niro and the whole movie, probably. That was my reaction, at least. But it is a good movie. And without this scene, I would have enjoyed the movie much more. But I guess you're not supposed to enjoy the movie. You're supposed to understand what happened in the movie. And the costuming and the set design and the way they relive these eras, that is enough to maybe make you enjoy it if you maybe, just don't watch past that scene and just assume what happened at the end of the movie and that was a happy ending. I don't know. I can't say that I recommend watching this movie just because of the horrific scene, but if you're not easily offended or if you can look past those things, even if you are, the exploitation and violence and that kind of stuff, then sure, check out this movie and you'll probably enjoy it. You may have the same reaction as me, but you can get around that and understand it. However, if you're someone who maybe becomes very distraught at people harming others for seemingly no reason, then definitely don't watch this movie. Hey everybody, this has been 365 Days of Movies. We're going to keep plowing ahead. So let me know what you think of this movie, and if you want to discuss it further, comment below. If I get a lot of interest, I may very well make a full review of the movie, maybe even a video essay. So let me know what you think, and let's get to the next one.